Hey, it's Jeanette at the Not So Perfect Mom, and I have a little bit of a book haul for you today. I went to the library yesterday to get one book that's been on my TBR for like 2 years. I think it was 2015, and that didn't happen. My daughter says I have a bit of a problem, but that's okay. I like my problem. So I went to go get this book. I checked this one out, and it's Speak No Evil by Allison Brennan, and it's the first book in a series. I can't remember what the name of the series is right off the top of my head. But anyway, this is a story about a serial killer, and I'm only about 63 pages in, and it's very good. It's kind of got a unique perspective. It switches back and forth between like what the victim thought before she died and the serial killer and the cop's perspective. So it's kind of interesting to see all three. And then, of course, I purchased books because our library has redone their Friends of the Library section, and it had all kinds of new books. So I bought a whole stack, and I bought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 books, and I paid $3.75 for all of them. So I think it was justified. The first book I picked out was a random old paperback, and this is Pyramid Energy Handbook, and it's by Serge V. King, who has a PhD apparently, and this goes with my collection of witchy pagan Wicca type books that you'll see right there. And yeah, it's about using pyramids. I think it was just a fun old book, probably from the 60s or 70s. Let me see, and I will tell you. Oh, I was right, 1977. So anyway, and then next I picked up a book for my collection of classics that I have been building up, and this is a very nice edition of Dubliners by James Joyce, and it is, I believe, 15 stories that all are wrapped around Dublin, and I can't tell you the time period, I'm not really sure, but they're all in Ireland and Dublin. And you'll notice that this is a theme. Ireland is the theme for today. Because I also picked up, and this is my favorite part, these 3 novels. I've never heard of this author, but I read the back at the library and was instantly hooked. And this is The Ghost of Belfast by Stuart Neville. I'm going to go with Neville. And this is also set in Ireland, and this has to do with the Northern Ireland's troubles. And this is kind of a war political thriller, and these are all a series. They all go together. And this main character's name is Jerry Fegan, and he is trying to avenge his fallen soldier friends, and because he was paramilitary, and it's kind of what happens with that and how it affects the political stuff that's going on in the city. And then there's a continuation with the second book, and this is Collision, and these all are, it's a series. There's 4 books in the series, and it's about the lieutenant. The name of it is Detective Inspector Jack Lennon, and that has to do with the series. But this is the first book that I believe he appears in. From what I was reading, he doesn't appear in the first book. But anyway, the Collision is the continuation, kind of the aftermath, and a serial killer who is avenging the fallen soldiers. And then the third book is Stolen Souls, and this one kind of veers away from the avenging stuff and goes on to a woman who is supposed to go to Ireland to be a nanny, I believe, and instead of nanny, she ends up getting into the world of slavery and women prostitution and selling women and stuff. And I thought that was a pretty interesting thing, so I'm going to give those a try. They sound really good. I told you the theme was Ireland, didn't I? And then I picked up another one for my classic shelf, and this is a war novel, All Quiet on the Western Front. I think everybody's heard of this one, and it's by Eric Maria Remarque. Anyway, and it says it's the greatest war novel of all time. My papa actually loved this book, and he passed away probably about 9 years ago, and I saw this copy and it reminded me of him, so I picked it up and I want to give it a read. And then I picked up Dealing with Dragons by Patricia C. Reedy, I believe. And this is the first book in her, I think it's Enchanted Forest Chronicles. And I actually have a bind up of all of the books upstairs, but it's hard for my daughter, who's 11, to handle such a big, thick book. So I picked up the first book in the series for her. And this is about a princess who is one of 7, and she runs away and finds dragons. So I remember reading it as a kid and enjoying it, but I don't remember exactly what it's all about, so I may have to reread that. And this is one of my favorite finds of the day, and this is The Book of Life in hardback by Deborah Harkness. On my screen, everything is showing up backwards, so I hope that when you guys see this, it's flipped back around the other way. Anyway, and if you see the price sticker, I paid $1 for this hardback. This was the most expensive thing I bought, and this is the 3rd book in her I can't remember what it's called, trilogy, but the first book is Discovery of Witches, and the second one is Shadow of Night. And I know that it's about witches and vampires and time travel, and that's it. It's been on my radar for quite a long time, and I'm going to pick up the first book and break down and start reading it because I think it sounds fantastic. And then, hopefully my site doesn't stop fall over, I picked up Our Game by John Le Carre. I'm going to say that. I'm not sure if I said it right. Now, I've seen this author on, I can't remember exactly whose channel, and I want to say it's the BigHaired BookWorm, but I could be wrong. I'm not sure. If you haven't checked her out, you should anyway. She's a really good booktuber. And this is a spy thriller. He is kind of like James Bond, I guess. And I read the synopsis and I cannot remember what it was about. Anyway, but that nice copy. Oh, look, isn't that cool? There's the author. So, sorry, not a very good synopsis of that one. Then I picked up something for our U.S. history unit for 6th grade this year, and it's The Day That Changed America, and it's a D-Day. They fought to free Europe from Hitler's tyranny by Shelley Tanica, with paintings by David Craig. Anyway, it's just a thin, full color book about D-Day, so 1944. And then today, as I was getting ready to film, my mailman came by, so I had 2 other books that I purchased a couple of days ago on Amazon, and I'm going to show you those too. And this is The Witch and the Dead by Heather Blake, and she is one of my favorite cozy authors. She writes paranormal, witchy mysteries, and I believe this is like book 7 in the series. So if you haven't read it, it's the Wishcraft series, and you should definitely check out the first one in it. I have enjoyed everything that I have read of hers, and I can't wait to read that one. And then I picked up this tiny little book, which you don't realize how small this book is until it is compared to another book. This is the paperback, a small mass market. Look how tiny this book is. It is so tiny. But anyway, it is We Should All Be Feminists by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, I believe it. I sent Americana to a friend of mine, and I have yet to pick that one up yet. But I saw this one, and it was reduced in price, so I went ahead and picked it up. And I need to pick up Americana too. But my daughter and I have been really into women's rights and strong women in history, and what is feminism. I recently was working over the summer, and I had the unfortunate pleasure of working with a man who was a bit of a woman hater, he didn't think that women should have. So my camera cut off at the 10-minute mark. I guess I have talked enough. But the man that I worked with made me start thinking about women's rights and how men have a perspective of how women are the weaker sex and we can't do the same things as men can. We shouldn't be able to play football. We shouldn't be able to work in mechanics or, heavy duty lifting, things that we're physically not capable of doing everything that a man is able to. Football and I believe the Army, military was the two examples that he was using. But anyway, not to get off on a tangent, I want to teach my daughter what is feminism and what she is able to do in life, and that she shouldn't listen to people like him, and that if she wants to do something, she can. So anyway, and all that to just say, for a book that I have not yet read, is I picked up this one, and I will be picking up some more books on feminism. And if you have anything that is a good book that I can personally read and then maybe pass on to my daughter or share tidbits with her about feminism and being a strong woman, and not letting people tell her or dictate what she can and can't do when she gets older, I would love to have your suggestions down below. And I'm going to put that book down my hands holding. Anyway, it was great talking to you, and I will see you guys next time. Feel free to like and subscribe, and let me know down below if you have a channel that is similar to mine, and if I don't already follow you, I will go check out your channel, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.